Okay, today we're going to be dividing rational expressions. Very, very, very similar to multiplying rational expressions. Because if you remember, when you divide fractions, you just take the reciprocal of the second fraction and then you multiply. So basically that's what we're going to do here. So it's going to be very, very similar. I'm going to point out something about canceling here that's going to come into play today. It could have come into play with multiplying, but we were trying to go easy on you to start with. If I have x plus 2 over 2 plus x, are those the same thing? Well, sure it is. 3 plus 2 and 2 plus 3, that's 5 over 5. So those are the same thing. So these can cancel to equal positive 1. Are x plus 2 and x minus 2 the same thing? No. 3 plus 2 is 5, 3 minus 2 is 1. So those can't cancel. So these cannot cancel. Here's the tricky part. How about x minus 2 and 2 minus x? They're not exactly the same. 3 minus 2 is 1, 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Let's try another number. 7 minus 2 is 5, 2 minus 7 is negative 5. Notice you always get the same answer, just with the opposite sign. So these can cancel, but when they do, they have to cancel to a negative 1. So that's important that you know this and that you write this down. The only other thing that's tricky about dividing rational expressions is when you do the restrictions. Let's talk about why. Let's use a simple fraction here. 2/3 divided by 5/6. Right now, my denominators are here and here. So you would do your restrictions, life is good. However, when we go to divide these, we have to multiply by the reciprocal. Now all of a sudden, this is a denominator. So when we go to do restrictions for dividing, you have to do your restrictions from 3 different places. The denominator of the first fraction, the denominator of the second fraction, and the numerator of the second fraction, because that will become the denominator when you flip it over. So the only one that you're not going to do restrictions on is the very first one, the numerator of the top or of the left fraction. So let's do an example. If we have the problem like this, division problem looks exactly the same as our multiplication. So we're going to do the same steps. We're going to factor all 4 pieces. So top left, difference of squares, x plus 4, x minus 4. Bottom left, multiply to give me 21, add to give me 10. X plus 7, x plus 3. I'm going to go ahead and flip this while I'm taking the factoring. That way I don't have to rewrite it again. So when I factor this bottom, it has a GCF of x, leaving me with x plus 3, which again, I'm putting that on the top because to divide fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. Then when I do the top, that's the difference of cubes, x minus 4, x squared plus 4x plus 16. Again, when I do my restrictions for division, I have to do this one, and this one. So we're going to have lots of restrictions here. X cannot equal negative 7, negative 3, 0 from this one up here, positive 4. These here, they're going to be imaginary numbers. So we don't have to worry about those because we're only dealing with real numbers. So when you have that cube there, you don't have to worry about this back one because that would only give you imaginary numbers. So now I need to cancel. My x minus 4's cancel. My x plus 3's cancel, leaving me with x plus 4 over x plus 7, and then x squared plus 4x plus 16. And there's my restrictions. Okay, let's do that funky canceling thing that I was talking about. So let's do this problem. Factor all the pieces, so top left, multiply to give me 2, add to give me 3, x plus 2, x plus 1. Bottom left is the difference of squares, x plus 1, x minus 1. Flip my problem over, this is a 1 minus x, this is a 2 plus x. Do my restrictions, x cannot equal negative 1, positive 1, positive 1 again, or negative 2. Then I do my canceling. My x plus 1's obviously cancel. X plus 2 and 2 plus x. Those are the same thing because you can add in any order. So those can cancel. These two are the same thing, except that order is switched. So this is where we have to cancel to a -1. So the answer to this problem after all that work is just -1, and these are my restrictions. Again, do your quick checks. See you tomorrow.